Welcome to the 46th episode of Indie and Music Industry World. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Cleopatra.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Finally, we can talk. I'm sorry about the last weeks. I got the internet here is crazy. It doesn't work. I don't know.
No worries. I'm glad we got to talk, and yeah, to finally see.
So thank you so much for an interview with me, cause you're amazing. I was shocked when I listened to your music. And saw your videos. You mix a lot of styles. Cold Dancer is amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
I want to know everything about the track. How was the process, the idea of the song?
Well, you know what? It's actually kind of funny because I worked on that song during like the pandemic, like actually when 2020 started. And my producer and mentor, Walker Lukens, we got in the studio with him, me and my guitarist. And we had this, the way I did Cold Dancer, I had already had it kind of laid out a different kind of way versus how it came out in the studio. So we wanted to like strip it down, and we kind of were listening to music for inspiration, and we heard Travis Scott's Sicko Mode, which is kind of strange that it would kind of correlate into what I had, but he has like this 3-part beat change, and so we were really like intrigued by that. And so it's like, how do we make Cold Dancer, something that's like a beat change and like a surprise? So we decided to go with the house music. I thought that was pretty cool at first, and then that middle part, we decided we wanted to do I wanted to do something like kind of ambient, kind of Donna Summerish, like just like the harmonies and all this stuff. And then at the end, we decided we wanted to go like really hard with it, like a rock feel to it. So me, my guitarist, and Walker, I'm playing drums.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And so at the end, we recorded together. Like actually, that whole part in that song, we're actually like in the studio together, playing together, like recording that part.
So supposedly that the track is born with before with the lyrics or with the instrumental, then you put the lyrics on it.
Yeah.
It is a hard process, I think, as you had to play on it.
Yes, and you have
was
to like
amazing.
Perfectly, yeah. So it was really cool. My original instrument was playing drums back in the day. I used to play drums in different bands and stuff. So it was nice to be able to go in the studio with these two people that I trusted to like, play again and jam out with them. So it was really, really cool turnout for Cold Dancer.
Congrats so much for the video too, because it's powerful. It has a big impact. I love your style. The vision of the video. How was the idea?
You know what? So my best friend, one of my best friends, Constantine, he does most of my music videos. So the first, he did my music video Friends, which is probably my most popular music video as of now. But we just always have these ideas bouncing off each other, and it's like we wanted to kind of convey this person who is struggling with being in this relationship with someone who is kind of distant, kind of brings them in, but kind of, pushes them out. So we wanted it to look like this dancer was like trying to express themselves, throughout the song. Like, it was really cool because the choreography too, the woman that we used, her name was Brittany DeMars. She's a great dancer, but she brought that vision to life. It was really, if it wasn't for her, I don't know how well the vision would have came, because like her dancing is just so expressive in the video. And so we just decided we wanted to go with a dancer that can express what's going on as far as like somebody playing both ends, like being the one that's being rejected and also being the one, that is doing the rejecting. Because that's kind of what Cold Dancer is about. It's about, somebody that just isn't put 100, and you're working harder to make this person love you or to see you, you know. So with Constantine's vision, and then with Brittany's dancing, and then we also had Noelle, who helped with the set design and production. I think in the clothes, she helped with all the wardrobe. So really just like made it pop. She made the mask in the video, the rhinestone mask. So it was just like, it was a great experience just to have so many people on hand with that music video. I mean, there was a crew. I had a crew of people like helping with everything that day. I mean, we probably spent about 12 hours, which is pretty quick for like a music video that's, that doesn't have a lot of budget to it and all this stuff. So, I mean, but we, it was just a village of people that helped with that video. So it was very cool to see how it came out.
So, how much your roots from Corsicana to Austin has impacted into your music?
Quite a bit actually. Being from Corsicana, I think that actually carries with me in a lot of music that I make, especially like vocal performance. I grew up in the church, like listening to people sing and kind of just like letting that be my blueprint of how I wanted to come across in my songs. So I think a lot of my roots do show up in my music, and especially like now having my roots here in Austin, I think that edge itself gives my music a little more spice, because Austin is weird anyway. Like we have very eclectic musicians here, and I think I adapted pretty well to that code, and I think it does. It shows in my music as well as like my background, of course, and all that.
And you had one of the most biggest inspiration in music, the Smashing Pumpkins. Which is the right moment when they helped you to change the way of see the music.
Yes, yeah. I mean, because for a long time, growing up, I grew up in a black household with like R&B and hip hop and all that. So it was strange for my family to see me like going outside that realm and like listening to rock music. My mom, she didn't really like quite understand like, oh, you just really like this. You like the sound of these bands, and she's like, yeah, I do. It like it speaks to me. And I've always been that way. I've always just listened to bands and stuff like that, and discovered bands and wanting to play and mimic them, especially like with my drumming and this and that.
Yeah.
So I got really lucky that it clutched on to me, and
how much it's hard to put all together all that kind of styles as a mashup, sounds like soul, and you're amazing. Funk, hip hop, and how much it's hard to create the right sound of a track.
When you're really into it, it's not too hard, because like I said, that's kind of like my makings, having that hip hop and R&B, and then like, just really being in rock, just having all three of those things just like be a part of who I am. It makes it pretty easy, to be honest, because I'm so used to like listening to what I like as a fan and what I think I want my music to sound like, off of these influencers. So it's I'm glad I can say that it's not as difficult as it seems, because once I get an idea going with the song, I'm pretty much locked in and can kind of navigate it how I want to, because I have so much experience listening to different genres and and being in the church and all that stuff, and learning harmonies and melodic structures of songs, through like hymns and all that. So it just like it all just kind of plays a part in what I do as far as writing music.
Yeah, is that just like some other hard parts of the recording process, or on like to when as you're just like instrumentalist, multi-instrumentalist, is that just like some heavy part or something hard to when you need more time to have the right music or the right sound?
Yeah, it can be, definitely, because there are a lot of times like there are sometimes I can write compose a song in like 6 minutes or 8 minutes, you know. And there's other times where it's like it makes it harder because I may have the lyrics down, but like the instrumental part or the composition is not there. I don't know what to do with it just yet. So it definitely can be a ride for me as far as like where I'm going to take this song and how I get there to begin with. And it is fun to go down that journey though, because it's like, okay, once I have this part that clicks in my head about what I want to do versus if it's like the lyrics or the composition, I can kind of, you know, navigate it through there pretty easily. It's like, okay, I have a subject, I have, you know, what I want to write, I have this composition now. Like I just kind of, I go
Yeah.
with it.
So
Yeah, so
congrats so much for your scene presence on stage because you're amazing. I felt like shocked. You know, you had just like that kind of things. You know that like that audience. You know, gotta just see you. How much it's hard because you had a lot of experience at the most biggest stages in Austin. You know,
yeah.
which are your experience? You know, the hardest part of it. Just stay on these biggest stages.
Definitely ACL, Austin City Limits Music Festival. That was
Yeah,
something else. I mean, I never have experienced anything like that in my life. Just like getting geared up for it, just like being on that stage in front of all those people too. Like it was just crazy. I mean, and it's nothing that we haven't done before. You know, we played live shows, like played bunches and bunches of live shows, but like that in itself was just like the biggest stage I've probably literally and figuratively, you know, I've ever been on. You know, I hadn't had a lot of experience moving around that much on stage either, like because it was such a bigger stage. So it was not so much a challenge, but just like, I guess a challenge, but a good challenge for me to like spread myself out across the stage, rock around, and like, you know, actually dance and, you know, and sing at the same time, and just kind of make sure people are still entwined with the music and the show. So that was a new thing for me. But, you know, I think, you know, my friends and family who came to the show, they were saying you did so well, you know, like you really like took control of the stage, and also like just playing drums as my debut at ACL was really cool too, because that's how I first started, was playing drums and bands, you know. So
yeah.
it was, to get back to that, you know, to have that on such a big platform of a stage, and one of the best experiences I've ever had, very much. Yeah.
So congratulations so much for receiving the Chief Cleopatra Day. You
Oh,
know,
thank you.
you just like I think it's that a big honor. You know, and it's all for the results of your hard job. So congrats
Yes.
so much. But you think that it could be just like a motivator stuff, or it just like gives you a more pressure?
Oh, you know what? I think it gives me a motivating start to do more. You know, there always can be that pressure of like, I mean, yeah, I think I've felt, you know, to be honest with you, I think I have felt pressure all my career, just because it has been such a great trajectory, and then you have to try to keep that up and this and that. But and I'll tell you too, like you know, back in 2021, I was signed to a record label from South by. They were called Parts of Van, and they were a pretty like prominent record label. They had Dr. Dog as their first artist, like this and that. And they, you know, I think at the time they went bankrupt. I was getting ready to like put out an LP, go on tour. They were getting ready to help me with all that, and then it just like went like, it was gone just like that. You know, their parent investor ended up dropping out, so you know the label was no more. And after that happened, I felt really kind of lost because I didn't know what I was doing, you know, or what I was supposed to be doing. So whenever I did receive that from the city, that proclamation of like my own day, I thought that was incredible, because I really needed that, because it wasn't like I got dropped from a label. It was so much like the label just went bankrupt. And
You deserve it, really. You deserve it because you're amazing. What do we
Thank
can
you.
expect it from your next project? You know, as a sound. Because I'm
Uh,
totally curious and I cannot wait to listen. You gotta be
yeah.
smash.
Well, thank you. I would say definitely want to experience with heavier sounds, like heavier psychedelic sounds. Just more. I want to kind of get away from the pop-ish type feel. I mean, more so just like soul rock. I want to be able to say like it is actually just like soul rock. I'm so influenced by like Tina Turner and just the way she did things, and I kind of just want to be in that realm of like her and Betty Davis. Like I kind of want to be in that realm of like, okay, she's the real deal. She can get down on stage. She has a band. Like she knows how to bring that rock appeal. So I definitely want to be one of those bands that is out right now that are relevant, doing their thing. I want to be one of those bands that people are like, dang, they put on a good show, like just because of how the music is, what they're doing, how it's sounding. So I definitely want that sound to be more heavier, more relevant. Not to say my sound isn't relevant, but kind of like what it was at the end of Cold Dancer, that kind of hard sound. I kind of want more into my realm of music. So I'm hoping to put that more into my projects coming up.
Yeah. With all your experience, which is the message that you want to give to the new artist?
It's the music industry it can be a rough thing, and you really got to know who you are in this industry to know if it's worth to keep going. You know what I mean? Like you really have to have the passion and just like the love for music to really, because you're going to be tested. There's going to be times where you're tested, with whatever it may be. But just keep going, keep believing in yourself. Don't stop. You may get some rejections, but that's always another, opportunity coming somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Because
if you quit,
you gotta
never
believe
know.
in what you do. So
Exactly.
you're amazing. I think that you are a big inspiration for all the artists. So
Thank you
congrats
so
so much. I
Thank
cannot
you
wait to
so.
you got my support. If you need just like helps with the label, I can give to you. So absolutely.
Oh, that would
You
be.
totally got my support.
Thank you so much.
You're
I appreciate
welcome. Thank you so much for the amazing time. It was a fun and honor talk with you about your projects, and you're amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, W. I really do. I appreciate you taking the time
You're
to interview me.
welcome. The honor is mine. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You take care. Bye.
Bye. Take care too.